7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have ignition.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Rest Period After Dark, episode 3. Week 2 of the NFL is now in the book. So, we're going to be talking football like we do on this format that we got. I'm your host, the Hulk. I'm here with my co-hosts, Matt Goggins, Kyle Lombardi.
Welcome back, boys. So, it's safe to say that we're looking at a Colts Rams Super Bowl yet, or
Yeah, the Colts are 2-0. The Colts have not been 2-0 since 2009, which is pretty insane that it's been that long since you had a 2-0 start. But if you know anything about 2009, the Colts went to the Super Bowl that year, so maybe it's a sign. We got to do it for Jim. We got to go to the Super Bowl for Jim. But unlike 2009, we're not going to lose to the Saints. We're going to win this time. It's only week 2. You can't make any assumptions about the Rams right now. I mean, come on. I don't even think they've played anybody good yet. So let's give them a chance to play somebody worth something. They played the Titans. Didn't they play the Titans this week?
yeah, they played the Titans and they played the Texans. Let's see. Yeah, so they're none of their opponents have won a game yet, but playing the Rams doesn't help.
The Texans, the Texans are normally pretty good. I thought the Texans were going to be pretty good this year, but they've been struggling here in the first 2 weeks of the season just to get anything going on offense, really.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a long season.
Yeah, we lost Lombardi.
Lambo's gone. Man
The
down.
supersonic computer. The supersonic computer really helped him out.
The speed of light. But yeah, we're getting a lot of hate in the comments about our Colts picks. People don't believe in Danny Dimes.
Well, I didn't see a lot of hate comments for that. I saw more about our Packers pick.
Yeah, that's
Lombardi's
true.
Packers
Yeah.
pick was getting a lot of traction. But that one dude in the comments that was saying that the Raiders were going to do it this year, like, come on, that's not happening.
Yeah, the Raiders is that's quite a pick. If they do something, we're gonna have to get him on the pod. Ask him what he was seeing that we weren't.
Yeah, because the Raiders lost to the Chargers pretty convincingly last night, 20-3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Chargers off to a pretty hot start. Not saying the Raiders are great, but a couple of good division wins already for the Chargers. So
yeah, and they're in that same division with the Chiefs, the Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers. I think it's going to be a tougher division than probably what I originally had thought. I already knew it was going to be a tough division. I thought the Chiefs were still going to get the better end of that, but so far, they're 0-2 to start the year, which is not really what I expected out of the Chiefs. I thought the Raiders would be the one team in that division that was 0-2. But the Chargers and the Broncos are good, so I think the Chargers and the Broncos are going to be competitive. So, and I still feel like Mahomes can pull out some of that magic and just start winning games here.
yeah, no, they're
in
always
the middle
a
of the
threat.
season.
Definitely always a
Yeah.
threat. It's funny because week 1 it just kind of feels like it's a big coin flip on who actually wins. Week 2 you start to feel like you're starting to get a little bit of data, starting to get the good teams start to be clearly good. It's clear the Packers are good. It's clear the Eagles are gonna be pretty solid. The Bills will be good.
Yeah.
Then you start to kind of see who the potential sleepers are, like Danny Dimes and the Colts, and the Bengals 2-0, obviously having Joe Burrow go down this week, out for 3 months with the turf toe.
Yeah. That really shakes things up for that division. Lombardi's back.
Lombardi's
Very,
back.
he's laggy, but he's back. We can't hear you. Oh, we can hear you now. We can see you too.
Oh,
He's gone.
The supersonic.
That's what happens when you bring the supersonic laptop into the dungeon. But yeah, I mean the Bengals, I mean, honestly, that's pretty good for me and you because I don't think we had the Bengals. I might have had the Bengals sneaking in a wild card spot, but I didn't have them winning that division. So it's
Yeah, let me
it's
see.
really more bad for Lombardi.
I was gonna say, let me see. Okay, I can pull up our playoff picks. But yeah, for those that didn't see the first rest period after dark episode, we all put in our playoff picks, and we're doing a season-long game to see who can get the most playoff teams. We got to figure out some sort of prize and punishment when it gets a little bit further along. But
yeah, because I had the I'm pretty sure that I had the Ravens winning it, and then I had the Steelers, and then I had the Bengals, and then I had the Browns. And if I remember right, my playoff picks were the Broncos, the Steelers, and the Colts. I thought those were my wild cards.
yeah, you had the Bengals as a wild card, so you actually
I did have the Bengals as a wild card. Okay.
Yeah, or at least on this. On the take or the version that I have written down, I have you Broncos, Bengals, and Colts as your wild cards.
And I'm surprised I didn't put the Steelers in there.
I feel like you might.
The Steelers always seem to find a way to get into the playoffs. So I feel like I would have picked them. And I mean, the Bengals are 2-0 right now, but they had two pretty weak opponents to start the year. And now with Joe Burrow gone, I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, no,
I don't know who their backup quarterback is.
I'm not sure. I saw they picked up a couple guys, but yeah, we might have to check the tape on those playoff picks because I know there was a lot of back and forth on who the playoff picks were going to be. So I have to check and see if you have the Steelers or the Bengals. But yeah, I have no idea who the Bengals backup is. I think I saw something saying they were trying to pick up a couple guys. Yeah, this guy Clifford and White. Never heard either of their names, but signed a couple guys to the practice squad. Probably have a bit of a mid-season quarterback carousel in Cincinnati. But yeah, that's tough. Burrow, I feel for him. Like after some early fireworks, he's just been suffering with injuries for a couple of years now. So hopefully,
yeah, this is not his first injury. But he injured his toe, right?
Yeah, turf toe.
I don't know if he. Oh, just turf toe.
That's what I saw.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So he's getting surgery. It looks like he's getting surgery on his toe, and that's why he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
But it looks like the backup for the Bengals is Jake Browning. I don't know anything about this guy.
I feel like I heard that name maybe back when he was in college. Let's see.
Yeah.
Went to Washington. I feel like I kind of vaguely remember him when he was at Washington. But
yeah, he played for Washington. He's been on a few teams. He's been on the Cincinnati Bengals more than once. Or he actually was he's been on the Bengals since 2022.
Okay.
He got drafted by the Vikings, it looks like.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I don't know anything about him. My guess is he's not going to be as good as Joe Burrow, though. So they're probably going to struggle. And just like any quarterback that hasn't been the starter, just like coming in the middle of the season is going to be kind of tough.
Yeah, let's see what they have coming up for their next few months. Because I mean, Burrow's going to be gone. It's 3 months minimum, they're saying. So I mean, that's a good.
Yeah.
At least 10 games. They've got some tough competition coming up. They're playing the Vikings, Broncos, Lions, Packers, Steelers. So five former playoff teams in the next 5 weeks is not easy when you're down a quarterback. We got Lombardi back.
Lombardi's back.
So, how you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. That supersonic computer is really coming in handy.
Yeah, you know, this supersonic, the technology is real solid over here.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know what you guys were talking about, but let's just go into this.
We're just deep diving the Bengals.
Rams all the
We're just
way.
deep diving the Bengals right now. Joe Burrow injury.
Dude, the Bengals, Joe Burrow, he's done, man. That's such a shame. The Bengals come into Green Bay week 5. That game just changed, man. Like, you're not going to see the same level of performance of that team. I got T. Higgins on my fantasy team. You're about to lose.
Yeah.
You know, for me, that's a big deal. You know, you got Jake Browning as your starting quarterback now. Super disappointed, honestly. Joe Burrow gets no protection, like Andrew Luck, as the Colts know, right? Like they never protected that guy, and he just got beat around, man. He had to retire early. I hope that's not Joe Burrow, man. That's just super disappointing, honestly.
What do you know about Jake Browning? He's from he went to Washington College. He got drafted by the Vikings. He wasn't a starter at the Vikings. Now he's on the Bengals, been with them since 2022. Has he played any snaps? I mean, if he got picked up in 2022, it's possible because Burrow's been hurt a couple times. So maybe I got to look up some film of this guy. Is he any good?
Yeah, he's a good backup, but
Yeah,
he's
good
not
for backups.
He's not Joe Burrow,
Oh,
you know.
of course.
That's the issue is, well, he's a decent
Very
backup.
few people
but
are Joe Burrow. Very few.
Yeah. Well, let's see
Yeah.
Browning. So Browning looks like he played 9 games in 2023 when Burrow was down. 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 1,900 pass yards. So yeah, not decent, but no Joe Burrow.
Yeah, not a great touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah, not doing any favors for guys holding those Bengals receivers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like Kyle was saying, like part of the reason Burrow keeps getting hurt is because their offensive line sucks. And with their defense being unable to stop teams from scoring like 30, 40 points on them, it's going to be tough. I think it's a completely different outlook on the Bengals. I think without Joe Burrow, they might even be worse than the Browns down the stretch.
Yeah, I think they're cooked, man. I think they have no shot, you know. Browning's fine and all, but I think you know, it's Jamar Chase, he's going to have a down year now. T. Higgins will have an average year.
Yeah.
Every player on that offense has just got worse, right? So that offensive line play, I feel bad for Joe Burrow. This is his 4th decently bad injury in the NFL.
Yep.
They don't protect that guy at all, man. I don't get it. It's like the opposite of Josh Allen. The Bills, they protect him pretty well. You know, it's just like, man, they should put some money in that part of the team, but they don't.
I mean, it really goes to show that on a lot of these teams, like you see it with like a Sam Darnold kind of guy. You see it with like a Danny Dimes kind of guy. They're on a team that doesn't have an offensive line. They're just getting sacked. They're on the ground all the time. They're constantly getting pressured, and they're horrible. Like their stats are awful. And then all of a sudden they go on a team where they actually are getting protected and they're not getting hit every single play, and all of a sudden they're actually pretty decent. So Joe Burrow is kind of like the exception to that rule where he had a shitty O-line, but he was still able to like carry that team on his back, do Superman level stuff to will them to victories.
Kyle, what do you know about turf toe? I don't know much about turf toe.
Well, they name it turf toe, but you basically completely wreck the ligaments in your toe. It's ended multiple people's careers. I think Jonathan Ogden, he was a great left tackle. He had that same injury and he just never came back. Yeah, it's pretty nasty, man. It's, you know, just with the toe, obviously there's a lot going on. But I think Joe Burrow, more than that, he's had injuries to his knee. I think he had an elbow injury. He's had multiple things go on now in his body. I just hope he doesn't retire. I hope it's like just this 1 year he comes back. They figure out their offensive line play. Yeah, because he's a great quarterback. I think you're missing a top.
Yeah, and obviously with it affecting his mobility, I mean that's kind of where Joe Burrow makes his money, is his mobility, his ability to move in the pocket and make stuff happen. So, but yeah, I think it's now that we got Kyle back, it's a good time to pop the Joe Rogans here. Flamin' Joe Rogan, pineapple.
Rogan time. Restperiod.com.
I'm sure that Goggins can do his editing magic and he'll flash we got an affiliate link with Killcliff. You could get what's the discount? You get a discount if you use our affiliate link.
Yeah, let me see. I think so. It's you go to killcliff.com/restperiod. I think it's 10 or 15% off. If you're looking to try the Rogans, hit us up. Get you a deal.
Flamin' Joe Rogan's right there. But I think I've had enough talking about the Bengals. I want to start talking about the Colts. Let's start talking about leverage. Let's go. Colts Denver, huge game. Obviously, I'm a Colts fan, so I'm biased. But yeah, I'm very biased as a Colts fan. But I think it was clear as day that it was a penalty. I mean, everybody knows you're not supposed to jump over the long snapper. You're not even really supposed to touch the long snapper. But also at the same time, I mean, the Broncos didn't really deserve to win that game. There were a bunch of really bad penalties, like pass interference penalties that led to the Broncos scoring a touchdown. They missed that field goal, the leverage penalty. I mean, really, it's just like, the refs needed to give us one. We needed to get a call there. So that's why we got the W. But I mean, at the same time, like the Colts offense is just so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was making
Danny Dimes.
I was making that hype video this afternoon that we put up as a short, watching the highlights of that game. The Colts were everywhere. They were just moving the football. Daniel Jones, yeah, over 300 yards passing. Jonathan Taylor, over 160 yards rushing. That was looking pretty easy out there.
I was looking too easy. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, 165 yards on the ground. He's very involved in the passing game. You throw him the ball on a little like flat route and he can just turn it upfield, break off like a 50-yard run. He remembered to hold on to the ball this time when he was on the goal line. He didn't drop it at the 1-yard line like he did last year against Denver. So, but yeah, I mean, Danny Dimes, he threw a touchdown pass. He got another rushing touchdown. Jonathan Taylor looked great. The offense is still scoring on the vast majority of their drives. I mean, the only drives we didn't score on was when we basically ran it out right before the half. And we had two turnover on downs where we went for it on 4th down. But I think we're the most efficient offense in the NFL right now in terms of just like scoring. We've scored on almost every drive. First team to ever score on the first 10 possessions of a season, and the first team in the Super Bowl era to not punt the ball in their first 2 games. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, those are actually pretty wild stats. We've been hyping the Colts, but
and Lombardi's gone. Lombardi's having a lot of technical difficulties today, but
it's bringing too much heat.
I completely agree. I think Shane Steichen is a great coach. I think our team is really good. I think we've been really good for a while. We've just been, like I've said in previous episodes, we've just been missing that like final piece, which is just a quarterback that could just complete passes. Like that's really it. We don't need like a Lamar. We don't need like a Patrick Mahomes. We don't need like a Joe Burrow. We just need a reliable quarterback that can get the ball to our playmakers. And I think that so far, Indiana Jones, Daniel Dimes, whatever you want to call him, he's been that guy for us. So
Yeah, I mean, he looks extremely balanced. Like he's moving both ways. He's getting a lot of time in the pocket, but when he has to scramble, like, you can tell he's been working. Like he looks clean. He's got his moves. He's finding guys. Like he's, 5-6 different guys distributing the ball across him pretty well. And watching the highlights, it's like just looks very balanced.
yeah, and I really think this is a statement game just because Denver has been kind of hyped up as being like a really, top 5 defense. Their defense played really well in week 1. I think their defense is really good. So the fact that the Colts offense is able to keep up what they did in week 1 against a much superior defense than the Dolphins, I think really is a big statement. Just like a wake up call to the NFL that, we've been saying it. We've been saying it for a while. I mean, we knew this Colts team was going to be good. And I think people are just starting to realize just how good this offense can be. And our defense too. Our defense, yeah, they still gave up, 26 points or 28 points to the Broncos, but they made some critical plays. That it all started with that Cameron Bynum interception. That really just spelled the downfall for the Denver Broncos down the stretch. So
yeah, and like in all seriousness, I don't think any of us really think the Colts are like Super Bowl contenders yet. But they if they start winning football games like that, like they're going to be a very real playoff contender and potential playoff threat. So definitely a big win.
yeah, it's definitely too early to say they're Super Bowl contenders, but I think that it's definitely a sign that we can have a run this year. We can be a playoff team. But by mid-season, I'll probably have a good idea just how good our Super Bowl aspirations can be. But I really like this team, but really the I guess the controversy of this game was just obviously the leverage call at the end, but also just like the reffing in general was just bad. It's probably the worst officiated game of the season so far, with just like the bad pass interference calls on the Colts, like this like face mask call on Denver that they didn't even show in the replay. Like they showed the replay of the penalty and you didn't even see the face mask. So I don't know what would. Like, obviously, the leverage call is what won us the game, but what do you guys think of that? You guys think it was a good penalty? Do you think it was the right call?
I don't know. I tend to think like you can't really make that call when it's a 60-yard field goal and the guy missed it that far wide. I know like you can get into the technicalities, but honestly, part of me is like, can you really throw that flag like on a 60-yarder unless it like really impacted the play? But it is what it is. There was definitely a lot of yellow on the scoreboard. Again, when I was watching those highlights, it was like most of the downfield passes there was some sort of contact. So it looked like it was just a bit of a sloppy game in that sense. But I feel like early in the year that's kind of bound to happen.
Well, yeah, there were a few like really bad missed penalties and really bad penalties on the Colts for pass interference. So we had like a drive that got completely like basically it resulted in a field goal, but we lost all of our momentum because we had 2 wide open receivers and they're like tackling our receiver way before the ball gets there. No call, no pass interference. We kick a field goal, the Bengals get the ball back, and then we get like 2 or 3 horrible pass interference calls on us that basically put the Bengals on the 1 yard line and they score a touchdown. Like, it was just ridiculous play calling. It was all from like this one ref, so you could tell like the players are getting pretty pissed at this one ref. And they were chatting like they actually threw a flag on Steichen because Steichen was like losing his mind on the sideline at this ref for all of his bad calls.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got to call that leverage call because in the NFL, that's a big rule. You know, that's I've seen that call multiple times. It sucks it happens in that moment, but you can't touch that long snapper. So I think that's pretty easy. That's an easy call. Because that guy that's watching that long snapper, that's all he's looking for. So pretty dumb penalty on the Broncos, honestly. Like, he missed it, so you didn't need to do that, right? And every guy in special teams knows that rule. So I think from a coaching perspective, that coach is probably pissed, you know, because he's probably like, damn, I told you guys not to do that. That's probably actually what's going on behind the scenes. Like, I'd be mad at my player, not the ref has to call. It's his job, you know. But I think going back to Steichen, he did an unbelievable job as a coach. He outcoached Sean Payton, which is like, I called Broncos for the AFC West, and I'm really loving the Colts. So it's awesome to know that they have a great coach, a great thing going. And Hulk always talks about their offensive line play, right? They have probably the best guard in the NFL, Quentin Nelson. You know, they have a center in Bortolini from Wisconsin Badger. He's pretty good. Yeah, they got some guys in there, man, and they're tough. They protect Danny Dimes really well. So, yeah, man, I thought the Broncos were going to win. Sorry, guys. I was taking the Broncos in that game. I was wrong, and that's just how it goes, man. That's what a wild win. So, yeah, congrats really to Hulk as a fan, but Jim Irsay, we're rooting for him, right? We kind of alluded to that, but we like Jim Irsay, the whole story. So I'm into it, man. I thought Broncos were going to win. The reffing is always kind of bad in the NFL. I think they throw away too many flags, but on that specific call, it's kind of hard, man. I thought they had to call that, but they call too many penalties, or they don't call the ones you're like, that's obvious. So I think that's a problem in the NFL for sure. But
yeah, for sure. But I guess one more thing I'll add is, I know Goggins was saying, you know, you can't really make that call right there when it like decides the game because it didn't really affect the play. But there's plenty of penalties that they call that are clearly penalties that, like, you know, that penalty didn't affect the play at all. Like, it'll be like holding on a receiver on the opposite side of the field that wasn't anywhere near the actual play, and it'll completely cancel out the play. So I mean, I think it was the right call. You know, like Kyle was saying, I don't know why you even try to block a 60-yard field goal. I mean, it's a rookie kicker trying to kick a 60-yard field goal. He's gonna miss more times than not. I would have just played like whatever, tried to like play like a safe man kind of setup where you're like not trying to allow any fakes or anything like that. Not really try to block it, but
yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah,
but we just lost Kyle again.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the Colts are moving the football. They scored quite a few times. So you know, the penalty is what it is, but you know, I think they did deserve. They went and won that game, so.
Yeah, I mean, they just kept it close. You know, they just didn't go away the whole game, and they set themselves up for a chance to win it at the end, and they got it done. So.
Yeah, Kyle's texting us. He can't hear anything we're saying.
That's because he's not in the. That's because he got kicked out again.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna need to just scrap this and try again tomorrow. Do like a shorter episode or something.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. But I mean, some other big games this week. Houston took another L this week, which is great. It's great to see. Houston Houston fell on Monday Night Football to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. The Bucks. Probably.
Which, by the way, the Bucks are actually better than probably what any of us thought. I thought that division was just bad, but the Bucks are actually playing pretty well right now. Baker's balling out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Baker's fun to watch. He's always got some pop in him. Man, I was more surprised to see how the Falcons dominated the Vikings. The Vikings are talking about thinking that the NFC South was kind of one of the weaker divisions in football. I don't know, man. The Vikings have taken a huge step back, it seems, through 2 weeks. Either that or the Falcons maybe, are actually legit, but
I actually think the Falcons have a lot of potential. But yeah, I mean, we knew this. We knew that the Vikings weren't going to be as good this year. They got that. Is it a rookie quarterback? Did they draft this guy or?
Yeah, they got JJ McCarthy. He was 150 yards, 11 for 21, 2 picks. So rough.
Yeah.
Rough day on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that was going to happen. And hopefully, I mean, Sam Darnold, I think, is still struggling a little bit for his new team. Sam Darnold is the Seahawks. I guess the Seahawks did get a win this week.
Yeah, they had a solid win against the Steelers. McCarthy's out too, so JJ McCarthy apparently is out 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle sprain. So man, it's like the quarterbacks went through their ringer this week. Purdy's down with turf toe as well. And then you got the Jets. Justin Fields is out for a stretch as well, it sounds like. So lost a good five starting quarterbacks.
The Seahawks absolutely dominated the Steelers. But now that we got Lombardi back, I mean, the Seahawks, that's his team. Tell us about Sam Darnold. Tell us about the Seahawks.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on, man. This Supersonic sucks. Anyways, I don't know, man. The Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold, I think, played pretty well. I think their defense, and I've alluded to this, I think their defense is why they're so good. Aaron Rodgers struggled. The Steelers couldn't do much against them. Seahawks ran the ball pretty well. Kenneth Walker had a good game. Jackson Smith, who I talked about a lot, he had a good game as well. Yeah, I don't see the Seahawks being a Super Bowl contender, but they just play tough defense. They have a good coach, young defensive coordinator from Ravens, Michigan days. He's bringing that attitude to the Seahawks, I think. And I think, Sam Darnold played well. Not the MVP of the league. Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, that's our guy. But no, I think Sam Darnold played well. He won the game, but yeah, he's not blowing me away yet. So I definitely gotta see more from him. But in the rankings, I kind of look at all these players. He's playing efficient football. He's not making a ton of mistakes. But he's not the big time guy. So we gotta make some more plays. But yeah, I thought Seattle played well. They handled the Steelers. The Steelers should be a playoff team in my opinion, and I think we all kind of said they're a playoff team. So I was happy with that, man. I thought they played well overall. So
yeah, I mean, really looking at the stats from that game, I mean, you say Aaron Rodgers struggled. I mean, he really struggled. Just looking at his stats, 18 for 33. He threw 2 picks, only threw for just over 200 yards. I mean, that's really bad. So the Seahawks defense was really able to shut him down, given the fact that just a week prior, he threw 4 touchdown passes.
Man, shout out Kobe Bryant, number 8 for the for Seattle. Wearing number 8 with a name like Kobe Bryant, picking off the football, that'll get your attention.
Yeah, dude, they're bringing back the the Legion of Boom, I think, over there. So Kobe Bryant, number 8, that's actually ridiculous. I mean, that's I don't know what's going on there, but we'll take it, right? I mean, we'll take it. I think, yeah, man, if they can bring back the Legion of Boom, they can get Bobby Wagner back in there. I think we got a shot, guys.
Just don't pass the ball on the 2-yard line, and they got a shot.
Yeah, don't try to do anything fancy, man. Just give the ball to Kenneth Walker. We'll be okay. Sam Darnold, just be efficient. Don't do anything special, But I gotta go to the 49ers. I think they're playing really tough football. Their defense is freaking awesome. Mac Jones comes in, he wins the game for them. And then on top of that, you got the Rams and the Cardinals 2-0. Man, the NFC West is I don't know, they're loaded, man. Rams are pretty good though. I gotta say, like the Rams are playing well. Matt Stafford, Puka, Devontae Adams was on my fantasy league. He had a pretty good day. So yeah, the NFC West looks pretty good. NFC North looks terrible, other than who. The Green Bay Packers.
We lost Lombardi.
We did lose Lombardi.
But yeah, I was impressed. Mac Jones, almost 300 pass yards, 3 touchdowns. Kind of something to keep an eye on. Talking about quarterbacks getting second chances in better systems. Yeah, that'd be cool to see him get it going out in San Francisco.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you kind of said that Sam Darnold wasn't very good, but I know you were saying that like it's the previous episodes, but I like honestly, like in this win against the Steelers, like Sam Darnold was not really the reason they won that game. He threw 2 picks, so maybe he can turn it around. But yeah, it's like Kyle was saying. Really, it's just their defense. They're able to run the ball, and Aaron Rodgers just had a terrible game, so that's really the reason why they lost. So.
Yeah, to be clear, I think Sam Darnold's a decent quarterback. I just think the Vikings were really good last year. They were very balanced, which helped.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we got Lombardi. We got Lombardi again.
Another guy I do want to touch on quick, though. Jared Goff had a bit of a statement week. Obviously playing the Bears, so it's a bit of a tune-up game, but 5 touchdowns, no picks, over 300 pass yards. The Lions, look like they got things back on track.
Yeah. Lombardi's gone again. Yeah, the Lions obviously played the Bears this week, and they absolutely feasted on on the poor Bears. It was the Pope's birthday. Come on. You can't do that to the Bears on the Pope's birthday. That's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, Chicago has to suffer once again.
Yeah, Chicago's just forever cursed. Kind of like the New York teams. They're all just cursed.
I think my Supersonics cursed. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you
We're just talking about the Lions and their absolute ass whooping of the Bears on the Pope's birthday. Hate to see it.
The Bears are terrible. I said this, man. Worst team in the NFL. They're proving it to us. They're holding up their end of the bargain here.
Yeah. How about the Giants Cowboys? Do we think there's anything to take out of that game? It was a bit of like a defensive pillow fight.
So many penalties. It is ridiculous. The refs were throwing their dirty laundry on the field like crazy that whole game. But really, I didn't really watch that game all that closely, but with what I did see at it, the Dallas's kicker made 2 massive kicks that won him that game. He made like a 60-yarder to put it into OT, and then he hit the game winner in overtime. So, but I mean, honestly, it looked better for the Giants because the Giants were not expected to be that good than it did for Dallas. Dallas looked bad. Like they were expected to win that game a lot further than what they did. So,
Yeah, this is like a game where if I got in a time machine 5 years ago and showed up and just saw this stat line, I would think that these were like Super Bowl contenders. I'd be saying Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott both absolutely showed up and showed out, touchdowns everywhere, offensive explosions, but knowing the actual state of the league, it's like, all right, I just they were probably paying the secondary off on both sides.
yeah, hopefully Dak is able to keep up the production when he actually plays real opponents and real teams. The Giants defense is, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still feel like the Cowboys offense could be good, but their defense is going to struggle without Micah Parsons. Yeah. The Cowboys defense made it look like Russell Wilson was back in his prime, about to go win the Super Bowl, about to throw an interception against the Patriots on the 3-yard line again. That's what Russell Wilson that's what they made Russell Wilson look like.
So I'm looking back at some Giants stats. In the last 3 years before this game, there was only 2 games in which the Giants scored more than 37 points. And they were both against the Indianapolis Colts.
Was that like Eli? That had to be like what, Eli Manning?
No, that was just like the last couple of years. That's pretty
really?
much
Wow.
that's the most irrelevant statistic you're ever gonna find, but it's a good one, given the fact that we've been talking a lot of Colts.
Yeah. I figured that would be like an old school statistic from like the Eli Manning versus Peyton Manning days. I know Kyle wanted to reminisce on the old school days of football, but we were talking about this week at the gym just like how good the Colts were back when Peyton was at the helm, back before he injured his neck, and then basically got kicked off the team because they thought he wasn't ever going to be able to play again. And then he goes to the Broncos and goes to 2 Super Bowls and wins another Super Bowl. So that really made the Colts organization look silly. But yeah, that Colts team was good. Reggie Wayne, Pierre Garçon, Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, Peyton Manning. The defense, Bob Sanders, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis. I mean, come on. Doesn't get much better than that.
They had some good shootouts with the Patriots back in the day. Those were always fun games to watch.
The Peyton versus Tom Brady rivalry was legendary.
Yeah, I can't remember. I was young, but I think there was maybe like a Monday Night Football game where they played, and they both just, their stat lines looked similar to Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott this weekend, but they were actually on good teams, and they were actually on teams that played defense. So, yeah, but yeah, those were some good football teams. Those Colts teams with Peyton.
Yeah, the Colts took out Tom Brady. I don't remember what round of the playoffs it was. It might have been the AFC Championship game, but Peyton Manning took out Tom Brady to go to the Super Bowl. I think the year they beat the Bears. So it's a pretty electric game. It came down to the wire. It came down to a massive play on defense where we stopped them just short of a first down on 4th down and won the game by like a hair.
I just found like the game I was thinking of was so it was the Colts in 2009. They were 8-0 playing the Patriots, who were 6-2. They beat them by 1, and they kicked an extra point as time was expiring to win the game. Yeah, that was Brady threw for 375, Peyton 327. Peyton had 4 touchdowns, Brady 3. Yeah, that was a good rivalry.
I'm trying to think if there's any other big storylines. I mean, I think also just like the big storylines for this week, I mean, is really just like we live in a universe where the Chiefs are 0-2
Yeah.
and Danny Dimes is 2-0. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, one of our commenters was saying the Chiefs haven't lost more than 6 games in, I think it was like 7 years or something, and in quite some time.
Yeah, basically since Andy Reid took over.
Yeah, as long as Reid and Mahomes have been there, they've been really good. I mean, granted, they've played 2 good teams through 2 weeks, but it's not like the Chiefs to lose, particularly to lose like close games like that. We've talked about this, but like last year, I think they won like 7 one-possession games or something crazy like that. So
Yeah.
it's a little different
But
to see them not
remember-
make it.
Yeah, I saw something online though, like the Chiefs got built like they went like 15-1 last year or something. They lost like 1 game last year during the regular season. But there were like 5 or 6 of those games that they should have lost. They either got bailed out by the ref, they got bailed out by a doink off of the upright. Like,
Yeah. NFL rigged. That was the Chiefs.
yeah,
The Chiefs passed the Super Bowl last year.
they just pulled so much. They just pulled so much BS
Yeah.
last year to just like skirt out of games. But yeah, I mean, I think what's happening this year is what you're seeing is like they're overcorrecting.
Yeah.
The NFL is overcorrecting. They've given so many people are starting to figure out that they were rigging it for the Chiefs. So now they're overcorrecting, and now the Chiefs aren't getting any calls. They're getting no penalties this year. The refs are staying silent. Not going to help Patrick Mahomes at all.
The Bills deserve it, man. Give the Bills all the calls. I'm tired of this, man.
Man,
You know what I mean?
the Bills are beating up on the Jets, man. What's that about? Be nice to the Jets, Kyle. They never win.
Dude, the Bills,
I mean, come on.
you know what? The Bills said, you know what, guys? We're going to show you who we are. We're tired of the Ravens. You know, that Ravens game was a fake game. So this is who the Bills
I
are.
mean,
They're going to ground and pound. They're going to cook you. They're going to get James Cook going.
really though, like the Bills and the Ravens have just been like these 2 teams that they should be really good. Like, you know, they're really good. They have like everything they need to be really good, but they're just masters of like choking when it matters. The Ravens choke in the playoffs. The Bills can't defeat their ghost in the closet, which is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the games that matter.
No, that sounds fair.
I think
the
you're being a
Dolphins.
little too generous. I don't think the Dolphins are scoring 21.
The Dolphins are beached at the moment. The Dolphins are very much beached.
I think the Dolphins through 2 weeks are the worst team in the NFL. That might be a tough take, but that's what I think. I think the Dolphins are bad. I think they're worse than the Titans right now. Honestly, I think they're worse than the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Tua got a little bit of some pass yards going last week against the Patriots, but it was the Patriots who are probably also one of like the 5 worst teams in the NFL. So
Yeah, I suppose they had a pretty decent game against the Patriots. They scored a decent amount of points, but I don't know if the Patriots defense is really all that impressive.
I think the Dolphins are in for it this year. It's kind of looking like it's going to end up being a bit of a reset year for them. So
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like that Jets-Bills game, I mean, I was going to say, like, isn't that just like the Bills' annual tradition? They go to New York and just beat the shit out of the Jets.
Yeah.
It's just their annual. It's just the Jets' annual ass whooping.
yeah. An opportunity to teach those city boys.
Yeah. They do it twice a year too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They do it twice a year. They go and they beat up on the poor Jets.
It's got to be tough to be on the Jets, man. I'm telling you, everyone in the league does not like the Jets, I feel, just because of, you know, historically, I feel like they've been one of the most disliked franchises in the league.
Yeah, but they'll always be able to say that they won a Super Bowl because they did.
Yeah, but I feel like the butt fumble still lives on 10 years later in my mind, at least. When I think of the Jets, I still think
I don't think. I think the Jets in the modern era, nothing describes them more than the butt fumble.
Yeah. Rex Ryan
Their
and Mark
whole-
Sanchez, that was a couple of characters.
Wasn't the butt fumble like a Thanksgiving game or like a I don't remember. I thought the butt fumble was like
it was
a
definitely like a primetime game. They're playing the Patriots, and Rex Ryan was like talking a lot about how good they were, and then the Patriots just like steamrolled them. Like Mark Sanchez
Yeah.
looked like he was like, on the beach of Normandy that day, and he got very confused and he ran into his line. That was
Don't even talk about Rex Ryan as a Bills coach. That guy was a joke. That wasn't even a real era for the Bills. Let's move
we were
to
talking about him as a Jets.
back in the day with Marv Levy.
We were talking about him.
Oh, we're talking Jets. Even
Yeah, Mark
worse. Rex Ryan was a freaking Bills coach, Jets
We were
coach.
talking
Are you
about the butt
kidding me?
fumble. The butt fumble. When Sanchez fumbled the ball.
Rex Ryan, just terrible coach. Butt fumble. Mark Sanchez.
He ran into
Come on,
his
man.
own.
What are you doing?
That was
He
Thanksgiving
ran into
Day,
his own
man.
lineman.
That was a Thanksgiving Day 2012, the butt fumble.
That's what I mean. I remember it. I remember it being like a Thanksgiving Day game. He got like I mean, really, it was like the Patriots D line like pushed his offensive lineman into it, but like the replay made it look like he ran right into him and then just fell over and dropped the ball. Like it was.
He was such an athlete, Goggins. That Mark Sanchez, man. He wasn't training with the Hulkster. I'll tell you that much. That guy doesn't. The Hulkster would have showed that boy how to squat and do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? No, Mark Sanchez was not a very good athlete, I don't think. Very, very non-athletic.
I was gonna say, we've talked about NFL teams that I could get rostered for. I think the Rex Ryan New York Jets might be one of them. I think I would have had a shot. All I got to do is not back up into my quarterback. As long as I.
Do you guys think the Ravens are starting to perfect the Falcons' ability to choke the game when they're like a 99% favorite? I mean, after that game against the Bills, I mean, you saw it. They were up like 2 scores with like 4 minutes left or something, and they lost to the Bills in week 1. I mean, they were like a 99% favorite. I mean, they lost in a Falcon-esque fashion. That's how the Falcons love to lose back a couple years ago. I don't know if the 28-3 curse just got passed on to another bird team.
That was definitely shades of Matt Ryan. Man, I feel like I want to see Lamar win some football games this year. I mean, he's going to, but I want him to see him win a couple of meaningful games. Because they've been.
I was gonna say like Lamar is definitely gonna win some games. I mean, he's won a bunch of games, but he just can't win the games that matter. I mean, it's really and it's all like self-inflicted wounds. It's like they basically beat themselves. I mean, because there's no doubt that they're really good. Like they have a lot of talent on their team. I mean, Derrick Henry just freaking takes souls when he runs down the middle of the field. Like his stiff arm, like he makes like grown men look like little boys when he's running up the middle. But yeah, speaking of ass beating, since we were talking about the Jets, I mean, Goggins, what happened? What happened in fantasy, man?
Oh, you want to talk fantasy?
I just delivered like the biggest ass whooping to Goggins as possible.
Oh, man,
How'd you let me score that many points, man? I scored 171 points on your head.
I'm taking no further questions on my fantasy football team. We need a hard reset.
Yeah.
AJ Brown did not show up yet again. I mean, I didn't have a terrible week. I think I scored like 130 or something like that. But yeah, Pandemonium was running wild on me. Cook was going crazy. The Rams defense, double-edged sword. Obviously, I'm a Rams fan this year for the first time in my life, and at the same time watching them just shut down the Titans. It stung when I was playing against him in fantasy, but it's a long season. Just got to keep reminding myself that. Got to keep telling the boys on my
Yeah.
team that it's a long season. So
Just keep telling the old heads
yeah,
that, they need to make sure that they get properly warmed up, they get stretched out. You don't want them to pull any hammies out there.
that's true. Yeah, we have to prepare ourselves for the road ahead. We have a lot of wisdom on the old heads, so
Yeah.
we're gonna lean into that, lean into our wisdom and our character, avoid injuries. That's what it's gonna be about, avoiding the injuries.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the key thing was just, I obviously had James Cook, and, he kind of torched the New York Jets. I mean, come on. You have anybody on the Bills this week? I mean, like we were saying, it was just kind of an ass beating, so it was a beatdown.
Yeah, and you had Lamar throw for 4 touchdowns, very solid.
Yep. I mean, Lamar was playing Cleveland. I mean, the matchups just didn't really work out for you this week. All my good guys played like bad teams, and they just went off.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor, though, he had another good week, leading the NFL through 2 weeks in rush yards. He's definitely still got it.
Yeah. I think Jonathan Taylor is probably the best running back in the league. I mean,
yeah. It's definitely looking like him and Derrick Henry are still kind of top of the league. Those guys have been up there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Derrick Henry is just a freaking absolute tank, but they move the ball in like similar ways. Like I say like Derrick Henry moves the ball by just like pure power, just like pushing people out of his way. Like people just can't tackle him. Whereas like JT this week was just like making guys look silly out there. Like he was making moves, outrunning guys. But they're both very active in the passing game too. So they kind of get that. They're kind of that dual threat. They move the ball in more than just one way. So, but yeah, I think Derrick Henry, I think Jonathan Taylor, definitely the best running backs in the league right now.
What do you think of Gibbs? I got Gibbs on my fantasy team. He's an absolute stud, man. Put down 20 points for me. He gets a ton of catches. The Lions offense, when they don't play the Packers, look good, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, Kyle, you definitely benefited.
Bijan's pretty good too. Bijan's pretty good.
Yeah, Kyle, you definitely benefited from the beatdown of the Bears this week, given the fact that both of your running backs are on Detroit. So,
yeah, dude, stat line last year, Gibbs had 16 touchdowns. Montgomery had 12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So they really do a good job of distributing to 2 running backs. And Gibbs is an absolute star. He gets a lot of catches, which is huge.
Yeah.
I don't think in real life he's not the best running back in real life, but man, in fantasy football, he's tough to deal with. I think I'm going to bench Montgomery this week, though. I'm gonna ride with somebody else this week. But...
I mean, just looking at the carries here. I mean, you're right. When the Lions offense is moving the ball, I mean, they basically got a perfect 50-50 split with him and Gibbs. I mean, Montgomery got 11 rushes, Gibbs got 12. They both had a touchdown. They both got a similar amount of like passes thrown to them as well. So they're basically, 50-50 split.
Yeah, and really Montgomery is more like the goal line guy. So
yeah,
it's just a guessing game with those guys. But
yeah, I'm
going to roll with.
I'm not like a huge fan of that. I'm not a huge fan.
I'm not either.
I'm not a huge fan of having a running back that splits time. I'd rather have a running back on my team that's going to get all the carries, all the touches.
Yeah, it's nice to have a Saquon or Derrick Henry, somebody like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins as a starter.
J.K. Dobbins had a good game.
Yeah.
He's going to be good. Against the Colts, yeah, he did. He had a couple big rushes. If only he could learn to not spike the football and cause a delay of game so that they lose 5 yards or 10 yards or whatever it was. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Dobbins, yeah. Devontae had himself a game. You had Devontae on your bench. He scored 23 points. That's always how it goes. That's always how it goes. You flip them and then it's the opposite. Yeah. No.
Devontae's never, yeah, Devontae's never a
Yeah.
bad start.
No, not at all.
Well, give him enough time. Give him enough time.
Well, the Rams didn't really produce a lot of offense in that first week against Houston.
Yeah, Stafford was getting warmed up.
So, but yeah, I mean, I made 3 waiver wire pickups this week. And a couple of them I made like literally right before the week started. I picked up Matt Prater, so I picked up the Bills kicker. He had a great game. I picked up the Rams defense. They had a great game. I mean, I normally what I do with my defense is I just pick the team that's playing like the worst team in the league, like the worst offense in the league, and I make that my defense. Um, and then I cut Eckler because he tore his Achilles, so he's going to be out for the whole season. Yeah, so I picked up Keenan Allen, who's now on my bench, and I think Keenan can still produce. I don't know how he did last week. Yeah, he scored 17 points last week. I think he's gonna be a good guy to put in at flex, potentially, coming down the stretch. Um, so
Yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, boys. I'm the only 0-2 team in the league, which is actually pretty incredible that there's nobody else that's lost 2 games. But yeah, we're getting scored on. That's our biggest problem. Looking at the data over here, we're getting scored on. We got to figure that out.
it's just how the matchups turned out.
Yeah.
We were the only 2 people that got matched up that were 0-1 to start the season. So one of us was going to be 0-2. It's just how it ended up.
Yeah, just how the cookie crumbles. The one game we haven't really touched on though that we have to talk a little bit about is the Green Bay Packers Thursday night game.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we think?
I think the Packers are good. I think the Packers are good. Um, I mean yeah. I think the Packers. I mean, they took out the Commanders, and I thought I mean, I see the Commanders being a playoff team this year. So they came out the gate and they beat 2 playoff teams back-to-back weeks. I mean, Packers are going to be good this year. I think that's fairly clear. But kind of the same as what I was saying about the Colts. Like, I think it's still too early to make the determination that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I still think on paper there are better teams like the Bills or the Ravens. Like, even though the Ravens lost a game, I still think on paper, if they can get it together, they're still better than the Packers. It's just my opinion. He's gone. Whenever he talks about the Packers, we lose him. Podcast, so can't really handle his takes on the Packers, but too much heat coming from there. But yeah, I mean, I think basically, just to kind of summarize what I think he was going to say, I mean, the Commanders obviously are a really good team. They were in the NFC Championship game last year. You know, we had a lot of good things to say about the Commanders in our first episode before the season. I don't think, I think Micah Parsons is a big pickup. I don't think he's magically going to make them win the Super Bowl. He's just one guy. But I do think the Packers are good. Like I said, they came out and they beat two playoff teams from last year, two really good teams from last year. I do think we're starting to see some chinks in the armor, though, in the Lions. Like, from that week 1 loss, potentially. I mean, it's still hard to say because, they lost to a good Packers team and then they went and they just beat the shit out of the Bears. So I think this next week is really going to be a good indicator of just how good the Lions are going to be. So yeah, I mean, I think the Commanders are probably still going to be a playoff team. So I think Packers, Commanders are right there in the hunt.
Yeah, one shout out on the Commanders. Von Miller, 36 years old, recorded half of a sack and a quarterback hit against the Packers. That's crazy. He's been around forever and still putting pressure.
Von Miller spent most of his career with Denver, right?
Yeah, he was in Denver for a long time. But 36 years old, still getting on the line and still getting to the quarterback. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll finish my Packers take. Can you hear me?
I kind of summarized what I thought you were going to say, but yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm just going to break down the offense because I talked a lot about the defense, but Jordan Love's ranked number 4 in the NFL right now by PFF, which they analyze every play in the NFL. They basically grade all these players. So Jordan Love, to me, I said this, a few times, but if he plays at an elite level, we're going to be unstoppable. And, the eye test would tell you he missed a few throws, but he's not making the huge mistake. So he's playing at a really high level. Josh Jacobs, top 10 running back. And we have Jaden Reed is hurt, broke his collarbone, but dude, we have so much talent. We have, Tucker Kraft is one of the best tight ends in the NFL. He had a monster game. You guys, you saw him rumbling and bumbling down the field. Luke Musgrave is a really good backup tight end. And then our receivers, we have 6 to 7 guys that can just come in and make plays. So Wicks was impressive. Heath made an incredible catch on the sideline. Matthew Golden was open for 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love missed him, but he was open, right? So the next time, that's going to be a tutty. Savion Williams, our 3rd round pick, is fast, explosive. Haven't even used him yet. And Romeo Doubs looks great. He had a nice touchdown. So, and that's our offensive line is playing well. I think if we match up against the Colts right now, it'd be a pretty even slugfest, honestly. Those are 2 of the hottest teams in my opinion. So, and the Bills are right there. Rams are right there. But it's hard to say, right? Because you're just using the first few games.
Last year,
I think
last year you guys just came out and ran the ball like crazy on us. The Colts went to Lambeau last year, I think, week 2, and Love was hurt. You got Love was hurt. And you guys beat us with your backup quarterback because we just couldn't stop the run. Josh Jacobs ran like crazy on us. But yeah, I was talking with Goggins about the Lions. And yeah, I mean their next game is another primetime game on Monday night against the Ravens. I mean, that's gonna be a big game. If the Lions can win that, I mean, I think we can say that they're back in the conversation for, Super Bowl contenders. I mean, I still think they are. I still think they're really good. I think we lost them, but Um, I think the Rams. I mean, he mentioned the Rams there. I'm still not convinced with the Rams. You know, they have two tough games coming up. They got the Eagles this coming week, and then they got the Colts the week after. So let's see how they do in those two games, and then I'll be able to tell you if the old man Stafford's really still got it in him.
No, it's going to be a long and winding road for the Rams. I don't think that they're.
I can't hear you, Matt.
Can you hear me now? I'm seeing that my thing's moving
hear
in
you.
the. You hear me, Kyle?
We can't hear Matt now. Kyle's cutting out. All the technical difficulties, man.
I'm sorry, boys.
I don't know if it's me.
My
I'm not muted.
Supersonic's not getting the job done. That's all I'm going to say. Hulk, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Might be my
Goggins,
mic.
can you hear
You
me?
guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear
Yeah,
you now.
I can't hear you
gotcha.
guys, so I don't know if my
I don't know
my
where
audio got messed up. Oh, my speakers got changed. All right, now try it. I can probably hear you guys now. No, I can't hear you.
I don't know where you are. I don't know where you
I
are right
can
now,
hear you guys.
Goggins, but
Oh, I didn't know my shit.
you know, all I can say
Oh,
is
can
your
I hear you? Can
fantasy
you guys
team
hear me now?
sucks.
Or can you hear? Can I hear you? I can't
Can
hear
you guys
you.
hear me?
I can
Anybody
hear
hear
you.
me?
I
guys.
can
Check,
hear you,
check.
Hulk.
Anybody out
We
there?
lost our audio for some reason.
Where am I? Hello?
I can hear.
Yeah, I don't know what's
I
going
can
on.
hear you guys.
I can't hear
I
you
don't
guys.
think you guys can hear me
Goggins,
though.
can you hear me?
But I can hear everybody. Okay. I think Hulk's
Goggins,
having
I can
audio
hear you.
problems. I was gonna say though, it's gonna be a long season for the Rams. I don't think they're gonna beat anybody particularly good, but I think they're gonna beat a lot of teams that are not playoff teams. That's all it really takes.
Hey, you can make the playoffs beating bad teams, you know, if you have enough of them on your schedule. Right? I mean, we'll take it. The Packers have the Bears twice. They have the Vikings twice. I mean, I'm not saying the Vikings are terrible, but they've looked very shaky to me. So I'm not going to say they're really bad, but I don't see them being what they were last year, which might prove the point of like maybe Sam Darnold wasn't great, but maybe he was better than people were.
Now I can hear you guys.
Now
left
you can
and
hear me.
I left and rejoined. Now I can hear you guys. You guys are just like completely quiet. You're muted.
Sorry, Hulkster. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about the Packers. I just cut out when I get all heated on the Packers. So, but no, I think once again the Rams are gonna make the playoffs. I mean, Goggins, that's your call. You might be right. They might have something. It's can Stafford stay healthy, right?
Yeah.
The Colts, they look great. The Packers look great. The Bills look great. The Ravens look dangerous. And obviously everyone loves the Eagles. So yeah, there's just so many storylines. The Chargers, man. I don't know. You guys hyped up the Chargers. I had them on the fringe of the playoffs. They look pretty good to me.
Yeah. They had a big win last night. They had a big win last night. They beat I don't know if it's a big win. I mean, they beat the Raiders, but we were talking about how the Raiders might be better than what we had originally thought. But I think if anything, it looked like what the Raiders I expected last night.
And Pete Carroll chewed that gum last night, Hulk. You asked me if he was chewing that gum. He was.
He wasn't chewing the gum hard enough because they only scored 3 points.
He was doing it at like 50% capacity. He's got to up his game, you know.
He's got to chew more gum and he's got to chew it faster.
That man's some gum.
He is old. He's like, what is he, 73? Man, he's got to slow down. He's got to save some energy, man, you know.
I would not guess he's 73. He's got that, that jaw is very well defined.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's in the 70s. It's super impressive that he's back in the NFL. And Tom Brady's sitting in the coaching booth at that game. Did you guys see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot. Isn't Tom Brady like a partial owner of the Raiders now?
Yeah, and they let him sit in the coaching booth, which is so odd to me.
He's probably
Yeah.
Tom
spying.
Brady's sitting in the coaching booth.
Tom
Weird.
Brady, Tom Brady coming to games like decked out in Raiders gear is just so weird.
Why did he pick the Raiders, Hulk? Like what?
I don't know.
Could have picked Goggins' team, the Patriots, but no, I'm gonna go to the Raiders. The worst organization in the NFL.
He doesn't want to go back to New England. I think didn't he kind of leave New England on kind of bad terms?
Yeah, he did. No one wants to retire to New England either. Let's be honest. That's not a fun place to be retired.
That's fair, weather-wise, and yeah.
I mean, it's obvious why he picked the Raiders, actually. I mean, they're the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, he clearly just has a lot of money. He wants to hang out in Vegas. He wants to gamble his money. And he wants to be still connected to football,
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, I just saying like the football part, it's like, man, the Raiders, Tom, what are you doing, man? You could have gone to a much better program, right? You're Tom Brady,
Man.
but
Yeah.
who knows?
I will
maybe-
admit the Raiders got a cool logo. Their stadium's pretty sweet, and their color. I mean, come on, black and gray. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's something there. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
be really good in a few years, right?
Yeah.
Tom Brady's a big deal, man. Maybe he'll help a lot. So
I want to see Tom start dressing up like a proper Raiders fan. Dressing
like
up
all
with
the crazy shit, like
yeah, painting his face, getting out the shoulder pads and the mohawk. What else?
Eye
Dude,
patch.
those Oakland fans
Yeah.
were mad at the Raiders for leaving because they were like freaking. They were all dressed up like crazy people, and then they moved to Las Vegas on them.
Yeah.
I don't
heard
know.
I heard the old Oakland Raiders games used to be pretty crazy. Like the fans would get pretty wild out there.
Yeah, they were like thugs, man. They're thugs at the game. They're freaking beating people up.
Yeah.
That was a different day, Goggins. That was a different time,
TB12's trying to put on the gloves.
TB12
Yeah.
used to break clipboards and throw fits. Man, he fits in, man.
He used
Like,
to.
he used to just break things on that sideline, so it makes sense to me. The violence, man, the
TB12 used to
violence.
deflate footballs. He used to fake injuries. He used to read the other team's coach's lips so that they knew the play call. I mean,
Yeah, didn't he cheat a few times against the Colts? Just a few times. He had a few
just a few times. Yeah, just a few times.
incidents.
Well, the two times that I can remember against the Colts was they made a new rule because they had a guy on their team that faked an injury because back then when there was an injury it would stop the clock. But now if there is an injury in the last 2 minutes of a game, it actually costs your team a timeout. And they made that rule because of the Patriots because they were playing the Colts in a big game. And
Faking injuries on the fast.
They faked an injury to stop the clock, so they didn't have to use a timeout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because of the fast-paced offense. I remember that. That was just so dumb. Like, what are they doing out there?
and then against
Tom
the
Brady, what a
Colts
little
with
wiener.
Andrew Luck because we had one year with Andrew Luck when we made it to the AFC Championship game, and we lost to Tom Brady and the Patriots, and they deflated the footballs.
Yeah,
Deflate
once
gate.
again, what a what. Anyway,
Yeah,
Josh Allen wouldn't do that. Hulk, you understand? Josh Allen.
that's
would
something that
deflate a
Mahomes
football,
would do.
Okay,
I bet.
I think
That's
you're
Mahomes.
right.
That's
That's a good
Mahomes
call.
level.
That's a
Yeah.
good call.
I saw.
Mahomes would
Speaking
do
of
that.
Mahomes, I saw something on the internet that said Mahomes should be 0-4 in the Super Bowl because he lost to the Eagles once. He lost to the right. He's got 3 Super Bowls, right? So he lost to the Eagles this year.
Yeah,
But the first time they played the Eagles, they should have lost because the only reason they won was because of a BS pass interference call.
it's the
And I
refs,
think
man. It's the
I think
refs.
the 2 times they played the Niners, he got kind of bailed out too.
That
It's- refs.
Yeah.
That Niners Chiefs Super Bowl the year before last was probably my least favorite Super Bowl I've ever watched. That
Yeah.
was painful. That was painful to watch.
Well, also like they didn't really have their full star power going into that game, right? That
Yeah.
kind of sucked. Yeah, Mahomes would have probably lost to the actual 49ers all-star team, but yeah, I don't know. The 49ers never are healthy, so I should never pick the 49ers. They're always hurt in every single position for some reason. Brock Purdy's always hurt. McCaffrey's always hurt. George
But
Kittle's
somehow their
always
team-
hurt. The receivers
I
are
feel like
always
their
hurt.
team is kind of old though. Like they got a lot of old guys on their team. A lot of
They
old
do.
heads.
Yeah, they do have a lot of old heads. You're right.
Yeah. It's Matt Goggins' kind of team. He should have just picked all 49ers players and said, "Dang, old heads."
They would have
Except for
all been
Brock Purdy.
injured on the IR by now.
Yeah. George Kittle's out. Isn't Purdy banged up too?
Purdy's out. Purdy's out for multiple weeks, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
McCaffrey's he's still playing.
It's gonna take one hit or one like weird like run out of bounds, and he's gonna be out for the whole season.
Yeah. That's how that guy works. I mean, for
Yeah.
sure. But the 49ers just win. Like, how do they win? I don't understand. They're just
Their
like
defense. Their
like I
defense
said,
they
they're
is
have
great.
10
Really good.
injuries. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Nick Bosa.
The Bosa. No, he's
Bosa.
an absolute stud, man. And they got
Yeah.
Fred Warner at middle linebacker. I love that guy. He's just like the ageless wonder at
That's
middle
why the
linebacker.
Steelers
He's
have been
just
able to
every
sneak
single
into
year
the
the best
playoffs
guy in the
because
league.
that's why the
But
Steelers have been
TJ
able to
Watt
sneak
is just
into the
an
playoffs
absolute
because their
menace.
defense has been so good. TJ Watt is just an absolute
And the
menace.
Steelers defense is incredible.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
TJ Watt, the local guy, right, Hulk? I mean, he grew up in
Yeah,
the Waukesha Arrowhead program, right?
Yeah,
No, he wasn't Arrowhead. He was they were Waukesha West.
I thought he went to. I thought he went to Port, but maybe not.
We should look that up. But he's a local Wisconsin guy, so that's pretty cool.
know they were
I
from
thought he was an
Milwaukee.
Ozaki County
I know.
native, but
Yeah, maybe it was
not.
Milwaukee. There you go, Goggins. It's Milwaukee.
We've said like 5 different schools, but one of
Yeah,
them's
It's
got to be
definitely
right.
not what I said or what Hulk said. It's Milwaukee.
We're
Claim
like-
him, claim
yeah.
him, claim him, and keep him. That's the way to do it.
We're like way over time. I think we're at like an hour and a half or more. So I'm gonna end it here. This has been the Rest Period After Dark, episode 3. We'll see you guys next week for some week 3 action.
The Supersonic
Too
made
easy.
it to the end.
Supersonic's terrible.
There's gonna be some great editing for Goggins. He's gonna have like 2 clips from me, like 20 clips from Kyle. Like I don't know how he's gonna figure it out, but
I'm
Goggins
sorry.
just
I'm just sorry.